Today's story begins with what seemed like a flawless marriage, one built on love, laughter, and years of quiet stability. But as you'll soon discover, even the most perfect lives can unravel when the heart begins to crave something more. From the outside, my life looked beautiful. I was in my early 30s, married for several years, and living in a peaceful suburban home. Friends would often say we were the couple everyone admired. But behind the smiles and weekend dinners, I felt an emptiness I couldn't explain, like I was living a life that no longer belonged to me. Everything changed the day my husband's young relative came to stay with us for a while. He had been traveling abroad and needed a place to rest and regroup. I was asked to pick him up from the station, and I remember that moment vividly. The way he walked toward me, confident yet kind, a traveler's spirit in his eyes. Something inside me stirred, a feeling I hadn't felt in years. As we drove home, he spoke about his adventures, distant cities, quiet mountains, the beauty of getting lost and finding yourself again. His words lit something deep within me. That evening, as we all sat down for dinner, I caught myself watching him more than I should have. Every glance, every smile felt like a secret neither of us dared to name. In the days that followed, our connection grew quietly. Little things, an extra moment of eye contact, a laugh shared too long, began to feel like sparks I couldn't ignore. I told myself it was harmless, just curiosity, but the truth was far heavier. I was drawn to something forbidden, something that made me feel alive again. One evening, when my husband worked late, his relative suggested we play a simple game in the living room to pass the time. The conversation was light, but the air between us felt different, charged with unspoken tension. When our hands brushed, the room fell silent. The world outside disappeared, and though nothing more happened that night, a line had already been crossed, one that could never be erased. Days turned into weeks. What began as fleeting glances became stolen moments, quiet conversations that stretched too long, laughter that turned into silence. I tried to fight the emotions rising inside me, but the heart is rarely rational. Every time he looked at me, I felt the weight of what I was risking, and yet I couldn't walk away. Then came the day everything shattered. My husband found a message, short, harmless to anyone else, but enough for him to sense the truth beneath it. When he confronted me, the room filled with words I'll never forget: disbelief, anger, heartbreak. I tried to explain, but explanations mean little when trust has already broken. Not long after, everything changed. The man I thought I wanted to be with grew distant. The excitement that once consumed me turned into silence and regret. Reality was colder than I imagined. Bills, distance, resentment. The very thing that once made me feel alive now reminded me of everything I had lost. One afternoon, I came home to find him packing his things. His voice was calm, almost detached. "This wasn't meant to last," he said. And in that moment I realized I had traded a lifetime of stability for a fleeting illusion. In the weeks that followed, I lost more than a marriage. I lost the version of myself that believed happiness could be found in escape. I signed the papers, left the home we built, and started over somewhere new. It took time, months of quiet mornings and lonely nights. But eventually, I began to heal. I learned that temptation doesn't always look dangerous at first. Sometimes it begins with a simple smile, a small spark, and before you know it, the fire consumes everything. My story isn't about blame. It's about how easy it is to lose yourself when you stop listening to your own heart, and how hard, yet possible, it is to rebuild once the ashes settle. If my experience teaches anything, it's this: love built on guilt can never bring peace, and the truth, no matter how painful, is always the only way forward. This was my story, a journey through temptation, consequence, and redemption. And while I can't change the past, I hope that by sharing it, someone listening tonight might choose differently before crossing a line that can't be uncrossed.